How to manage your emotions. Let's go through it. Okay. The first thing we need to talk about is hormones. But it's going to be the last thing I talk about. It's the first thing you should check, but it's the last thing I'm going to talk about because I don't want to lose all the men. Because the men need to hear this too. Because men actually suppress their emotions instead of showing them. Women show them more often. But what men do is they squish them all down, and then it comes out in anger outbursts. It comes out in alcoholism. It comes out in watching porn and stuff like that. Okay? Doing other activities. So it is important that both men and women know how to deal with emotions and know how to understand their triggers and know how to understand where they need to actually assess where they need emotional healing. After hormones, so you've checked that it's not hormones, you want to assess the situation. You want to take a step back, if you can. Hopefully you can. It's a practice. You got to learn. Take a step back and assess, are you having a reasonable reaction to the situation, i.e. you're in danger? Somebody is truly wronging you. You should be in grief because somebody just died or something horrible just happened. Or are you having a triggered reaction from a past hurt or a past trauma? You need to assess which one you are dealing with, because a lot of times we have these patterns running through our heads, running through our bodies that we have never dealt with, and they just come up whenever you get in a situation that feels like the old situation. This is why relationships can be so triggering. I have an entire class on this on my website, so after you watch this video, go to my website and take the class. So now you've assessed whether it's a realistic emotion that you're feeling or if you are triggered in some way and that you might have a pattern running. If it is a realistic reaction to the real situation that is happening, you need to take a moment, take a breather, and assess. Assess your next outcomes and pray. You want to pray about it. You want to assess. If it's something like grief that you need to process, you have to understand that you got to allow yourself that time to process that grief, right? And the thing about emotions is you don't want to be sticking them down inside your body and holding them into your body and not letting it go. That's why we cry. That's why we mourn. That's why we have emotional reactions, is to get these things out of our body and away from us, okay? So let yourself process whatever you're going through. Don't numb out with alcohol. Don't numb out with whatever your drug of choice is. You want to feel the emotions and process them. Take the time to deal with it, okay? If it's a situation that's being caused, that's an ongoing situation, you want to seek solutions. Emotions are there so that you know that there's a problem that you need to seek a solution for. That's why we have emotions. They are a necessary part of life. If you never felt fear or anxiety or love or any of those types of things, then you wouldn't be motivated to make changes. You wouldn't be motivated to move away from things or move towards things, right? So those are different ways that you gauge your situation and how you should maneuver through life, right? Let's talk about those triggered automatic responses. So someone says something and you automatically have a response. So here's the secret. You will not have a response where you don't have healing to do. You will not have a response where you don't have healing to do. If someone comes to you and says something, but you are completely secure in that area, you're not going to react because you are completely secure in that area. If someone comes to my TikToks and says, Jenny, you don't know the scriptures, that's not going to bother me because I know that I've studied the scriptures a lot. Okay? So, but if somebody comes to my TikTok and says something that is a trigger for me, and I'm not telling you what they are because I know you people will use them. You'll use them against me. And they hit that trigger point, then I will notice and I'll have a reaction and I will feel that uncomfortableness. I'll feel that pain. I'll feel that wanting to lash out at them and get angry and get defensive, right? That's a signal that you have an area that you need to heal the insecurity. You need to heal your ability to look at yourself in that area, whatever that area is. What did Yeshua say? Out of the heart, the mouth speaks. Out of the heart, the mouth speaks. Watch people. The longer you watch them, the more you will know what's in their heart. Because out of the heart, the mouth speaks. People will always tell you who they are. Every time. You have to learn how to watch for it. But you also have to know how to watch yourself. How do you know when something in your heart needs to be sorted out, right? And you need to take it to Yeshua. You need to get it out of your body. You need to get that healing. Again, that's in the course. You can go take that class on my website. Even recognizing that you have these triggers and noticing that you have these triggers will start to heal them. Because just by noticing something, you're bringing it to the light, right? Dark things cannot hide in the light. If you bring something to the light, it will dissipate, right? Darkness brought to the light dissipates. So in the prayer process, which I go through in the class, you go through and you hand things over to Yeshua. You ask him to shine his light on it, and you just release it to him. I always picture myself, if I have something that I've been holding on to, I picture myself just handing it over to Yeshua, and that works really, really well. So you want to get everything that's stored up in your body, and you want to hand it over to him and let him deal with it, and trust him with it. Trust him that he is your healer. He is interceding for you to have that healing. By his stripes you are healed, okay? Let's also talk deliverance, because sometimes people have patterns running that are actually spiritual warfare patterns and deliverance things that they need to deal with. If you are you have a driven behavior, so you're driven to do certain things, or you're driven to react in a certain way, whereas you can't take a step back and just but it's like you're constantly driven. Let's use corn for example. Say you are constantly driven to go and look at corn and you just can't stop yourself. There's likely a demonic stronghold there, as well as you need to overcome the flesh and deal with your mind and deal with your understanding on these things, right? You can also tell if you need deliverance if you're having strange dreams, nightmares, visitations in your dreams from spirits that are trying to do stuff to you or make you eat things. Dreams about old relatives or any kind of supernatural activity around you. You can feel, you should be able to feel when there's unclean spirits around. For an example, a couple nights ago, my daughter went outside to start the car for me. And as she went outside to start the car, she had this really creepy feeling that she was being watched. And so I went outside and I looked around to see if anything was out there and if there was anybody watching. And we prayed about it, and then the feeling was gone. And likely it was just a monitoring spirit or something like that. So just be aware of these feelings and start to notice when you can feel different spirits around. If you need deliverance, you might need someone to help you with that. I have also a link on my website where you can book a call and we can pray together. And when you have somebody who's more experienced or somebody who's further along in their walk praying with you, that is really, really powerful. Really, really powerful. And a big part of deliverance is obedience. So as you learn that obedience step, you will get more deliverance. People wonder why I harp on about Sabbaths and feasts so much. Sabbaths and feasts change your identity at a new, deeper, more profound level, right? You're no longer a Gentile of the nations. You're no longer of this world. You are now Israel, one who wrestles with Jehovah, the Most High God, right? And so you come and you are grafted into his family and you keep his feasts and Sabbaths and you are set apart and you are peculiar. And that is a change in identity that is so profound that it will change your outside behavior and it will change your ability to walk in authority through every area of your life. Back to hormones, gentlemen, that's something you're going to have to deal with on your own. I can't help you with that. Ladies, I can help you with your hormones. Track your cycle. Obviously, we all know that you have certain days of the month where you are a little bit more grumpy and a little bit less patient than other days. Just avoid people during those days. Avoid certain activities. Plan your schedule to your cycle. Plan your events to your cycle, right? Men are on a daily hormone cycle. Women are on a monthly hormone cycle. Stop trying to be a man and be on a daily hormone cycle. You're not a man, right? Plan your month. Don't plan your days. Make sure you're not eating food dyes. No food dyes. And make sure you're taking magnesium, omega-3s, evening primos. If you have extreme hormone problems or imbalance, you want to be taking black cohosh, wild yam, and Vitatex, which is also called chase tree berry at sometimes. Sometimes. That will level you out. Everyone should be taking magnesium. Eat healthy, work out, you know the drill. Check that stuff too, because that can play into your emotional stability as well. All right, I hope this helped. Go take the class on my website. Love you guys.